ladies and gentlemen, my name is David Baugh and welcome back. Today I wanted to talk about film financing. It's something that I've done a lot of research on, something that was very difficult for our film, but something that ultimately you're going to have to know. It's very difficult in this industry to kind of look past the art aspect of it, but the money needs to be there or you can't make the things, right? So it's something that everybody asks about, and if you want to get it done, first of all, the best way to get anybody behind your project is to be working on your project. Be breaking it down, be doing the things that you can do without money. You can break it down, you can start planning your schedule, you can start looking at different equipment types, you can start outlining the number of cameras that you need. You can start doing those things, and every step that you get is going to make each of the other steps that much easier. Now, the first place you want to start with financing in particular is going to be grants. The reason I say that that's the first place you want to start is because there's a lot of them that are out there, one, and two, they take a long time to hear anything back from. You may have a deadline that's in December, you may hear about it in, like March or April, and so there can be a lot of waiting on that one. You kind of just fill out your forms and you put it in, they'll kind of judge you based on that sort of thing. There's a lot of different ways that you can go with grant writing. You generally want to make it seem like your project is right in line with their goals as well, so that it'll be mutually beneficial. If you're applying to a science grant, for instance, and they need you to have science in your movie, you should push up how much science is in your movie. If there's none, that's probably not the grant that you want to go after. Or if it relies heavily, then that may be one you want to target specifically. But you want to apply for those pretty early on and hopefully have them pay out towards the end when you're getting closer to your production. The next step that I usually take is going to be investors. If you can find any of those, that can be hugely beneficial. The general idea behind this is that, say you need $100,000 for your movie and you kind of outlined it, you have a budget, you have a business plan, you know exactly how long it's going to take you to do it, and you have some various cast and crew already attached to it. You can basically just break it into parts that you are comfortable asking for. So if you have $100,000 that you need, and you can get $100 from 1,000 people, that puts you to the point that you need, right? Look at some of the movies that were shot in your general vicinity that are of the same type as yours. Maybe look at those executive producers, maybe see if you can find contact information for them and call them, or email their company and see if that would be something that they're interested in doing. You can host funding events, you can do that sort of thing to kind of get investors involved. You're going to want to do as much of that as you can, kind of rub shoulders with people that have money and would be able to do it and tell them about your opportunity. If you're honest with them and you tell them and you have a good relationship with them, you can absolutely get your money that way. Another way is going to be crowdfunding. This is something that's kind of popped up more recently, and a lot of people are doing it, and a lot of people are getting the money that they need. Last time I was volunteering at Austin Film Festival, I saw quite a few. I even had a question and answer with the filmmaker that made Little Tin Man. He got his funding on Kickstarter and was able to build all of his stuff. There's a lot of them that do pretty well, and there's a lot of them that don't. When I tried crowdfunding, I did not get my funding that way. I did get a lot of other services out of it, and I got a lot of benefits from it, but that may not work out for everyone. You could try Indiegogo, you can try Kickstarter, you can try GoFundMe is going to be another. There's a whole bunch of different websites out there that you could basically post a video asking people for it, and they'll give you little bits. That can be a wonderful time, and you have a sort of built-in audience of people that want to see it when you're done. So that's something that can be very good. You want to make sure that you have 30% already saved up for it, or that you know somebody that has 30% of your asking price. If you have a $30,000 budget, which is what we launched our Kickstarter as, or I think ours was $35,000, for us would be a little over $9,000. We didn't have that, and this is something I've learned in hindsight, but 80% of projects that get 30% within the first 10 days actually make their movies, and they actually get their funding that they're requesting. So you're going to want to have that plan in place. You're going to want to know exactly who you need to talk to get that 30% so that you can get that money on the back end. Different sites work differently. I know with Kickstarter, you don't get any of the money if you don't get all of it. Indiegogo is different in that you can get partial amounts of the money. GoFundMe is sort of a long-term thing. And the last thing that I want to talk about is InKind Services. This is something that the movie that I made would not have gotten made without. Basically what this entails is for instance, every movie is going to need cameras. If you can get those donated from somebody, that's going to be very beneficial. This sort of goes into the product placement realm. If you show somebody's Coke bottle, for instance, they'll give you X amount of dollars. Or if you, I took some classes with Channel Austin. They were able to kind of let me rent some equipment. That got us a lot of the equipment that we needed. We also had, computers donated. We had microphones donated. We had quite a few of the pieces of production donated to the film. That was hugely beneficial. The actors agreed to work for deferred payment, which was awesome. It's something that it may not seem like a lot on the outset, but it definitely adds up real quick. If you don't have to spend $1,000, that's $1,000 that you've gotten for your production. But I guess the major point that I want to get across here is that film financing, while it is difficult and it can seem very tedious and like you're getting told no a lot, if you keep at it, eventually you'll have the means to do what you need to do. Either you will have saved up enough money with a savings plan while you're going through the whole time and you'll be able to fund it yourself, or you'll get grants and you'll get investors and that sort of thing that will pay for the production as well. But it's all sort of an experience, so you just have to decide what that's worth to you and what you need to put together in order to have that experience in your life, and see who wants to have that same sort of experience. But that's all I had for you guys tonight. It was a pleasure as always, and you guys have a wonderful evening.